Due to YouTube and the COPPA laws, if you are under the age of 18 and are watching this video, please stop now. This content was not intended for you. Hey everybody, it's TMIKA. I am here with a guest design team project for Erica's shop, who is Scrapdiva Designs. I will have a link to her Instagram and her YouTube channel down below. I am using this t-shirt die, comes in large and a small size. Today I'm working with the large one, so let's get started. So I've cut it out in Sunny Days stripe paper and then a solid color paper, and then both the shirt and the collar in heavyweight cardstock for some stability for my card. And there we are. I'm going to adhere the pattern paper, which is like the striped t-shirt, to the heavyweight cardstock using some wet glue. I am trying this wet glue out. I know a lot of you have been asking. Once I'm secure and liking it, I will definitely link it below and maybe have a giveaway for it. So after that's put together, I'm going to go ahead and run a piece of cardstock through an embossing folder that I got from In Love Arts. It's a very pretty script embossing folder. I got my little water pen. I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to do something to this embossed paper. I don't know quite what this is called, but it's watercoloring on paper, basically. So I'm just dipping it back and forth with my watercolor brush into the water, into the ink pad, until I get the desired color that I want. And I wanted it darker around the edges, lighter in the middle, because that's going to be covered. I tap that with my heat tool to dry everything, and then I'm going to grab my Distress ink and Rusty Hinge. I know this isn't a water soluble type of ink, but I made it work because I don't have this color in Distress Oxide, and I wanted this Rusty Hinge. Add some pop dots to the back of that die, which I will adhere to the top of that card. I'm going to remove it later because I don't like how it was. I'm like, okay, well, I'll add a little bit of this washi tape that I got from Alina. It's a really pretty washi tape, but I'm not feeling it. So there I go with my heat tool, taking off that dye and the glue, and trying to go back to my original plan and thought process of my layers. I just forgot it. I had it up there. So I have some cheesecloth that I added 2 layers to. I cut all around the perimeter because I wanted to have this messy layered look. So I added 2 layers of that, and I added some heavier, wider washi tape to this as well, giving this a little trim. Come on, TMIKA, get it together. All right, now we're adding the washi tape, and I tore it so it can have, you know, the textured tag distressed look. So I tore it off, ripped it at the bottom, and then I added a little bit more of that number thin washi tape that I had at the beginning to the right side, just so it can be symmetrical. And now I can go back over with the Rusty Hinge to fill out some of the spaces that I covered up with the washi tape, and I can go ahead and add the hot glue back to these pop dots and put the shirt back. So now I'm satisfied with my base. I take my black ink pad, go around the edges, just again to create some dimension, to create some texture, and I'm using Lawn Fawn Jet Black. I have a stamp set here from my stash. I'm going to tap that with Thinking of You, and then also it has a little flower set to go with it. So I use the same Distress Oxide and Peacock Feathers and my water brush ink, and go ahead and just fill that in, you know, color it. I am also going to grab some leaves from the same stamp set. I don't know where I got this from. I don't know. And I'm going to stamp it on there as well. But I went over it with the black, and I'm like, oh, I made that little smudge down there. I'm trying to ignore it, but I'm not going to be able to let it happen. So I stamped the leaves anyway in both the black and the brown, or the black and the Rusty Hinge. And then I do a little watercoloring to kind of fill it in. But that mark is still bugging the heck out of me. So I do it over. And then voila, we have an unmarked brand new card. Look how cute that turned out without the mark. So so I put that on the inside of my 4x6 card. I typed out, I will give you the shirt off my back on my computer, and printed it out in the size font that I wanted. And I just have a basic font. I was trying to go for the Tim Holtz word vibe that people do. So I took all of the papers and I brushed the edges with that jet black ink. I ended up just using my tweezers because I didn't want it to mess up the words. So I just wanted kind of around the edge and not have too many inky fingers transferring black ink on everything. So I just used my tweezers for this. Then I layer them the way that I want to, and I put some hot glue on the back, and I kind of pop them up a little bit. I don't smush it down. I just kind of lay it there, and however it lays is where it lays. So I just staggered it, and I like how that looks on there. So I do that to all of it. I would give you the shirt off my back. And then I want to finish it off with some more of the peacock feathers around the edges, just to give it a little bit more deeper, richer texture, feel, color. And then one more time with the rusty hinge, just to touch up some of the corners around the edge. I picked out some flowers from my stash, inked the edges with the rusty hinge around all of them, and then finished up with that jet black. And then I'm going to go in with my, what is this, Spectrum Noir glitter ink, and wet that up, dry that with my heat tool, curl up the flowers the way that I like them, and place them on the side of the card, just to give it that extra little rustic shabby that I like sometimes. So that's hot glued on there. And then I find some tiny little flatback pearls for this, and then I put I cut off a little strip off of that, and these are from the Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby. Tear off the back of my double-sided tape that I put on earlier and apply that to the front of my card base. Again, that card base is 4x6, and voila. I hope you guys like what I created. Check the links in the description box. Be sure to like this video and let me know what you think. Talk to you guys later. Bye.